National Electrical Code Section 680.42c addresses wiring methods for spas and hot tubs. This section provides specific guidelines for the types of wiring allowed in different scenarios. The question at hand pertains to the use of Type NM cable, which is a non-metallic sheath cable for a hot tub installation on a deck that is close to the ground. The primary concern is whether the use of NM cable is permissible in this situation, considering that it might be exposed to outdoor conditions and potential physical damage. The answer provided confirms that the interpretation of the code is correct. Specifically, Section 680.42c does permit the use of Type NM cable under certain conditions. These conditions typically include that the cable must contain a copper equipment grounding conductor, often abbreviated as EGC, and that it must be routed back to the service panel inside the house. The equipment grounding conductor is a critical component of the electrical system safety mechanism. Its purpose is to provide a low impedance path for fault current to flow back to the source, which helps to trip the circuit breaker or fuse and to energize the circuit in the event of a ground fault. This reduces the risk of electric shock. The exception mentioned in the response is crucial because generally Type NM cable is not permitted for outdoor use unless it is protected by conduit or other approved raceways. Conduit provides a physical barrier that protects the cable from moisture, sunlight, physical damage, and other environmental factors that can degrade the cable's insulation and performance over time. However, Section 680.42c provides an exception to this rule for hot tub installations under specific circumstances. In the scenario described, the deck is situated close to the ground, making it difficult or impossible to run conduit or other raceways underneath the deck without significant demolition and reconstruction. This is where the exception becomes relevant. By allowing the use of Type NM cable with a copper equipment grounding conductor routed back to the service panel, the code provides a practical solution for installations where running conduit is not feasible. The copper equipment grounding conductor is essential for safety. It ensures that any fault current can quickly and safely return to the source, tripping the breaker and minimizing the risk of electrical shock. The fact that the cable is routed directly to the service panel is also important. This ensures a continuous and reliable ground path. To reiterate the key points, firstly, National Electrical Code Section 680.42c allows for the use of Type NM cable with a copper EGC for hot tub installations on decks under specific conditions. Secondly, this is an exception to the general rule that Type NM cable is not allowed for outdoor use unless protected by conduit or other raceways. Thirdly, the cable must be routed directly to the service panel in the house to ensure a continuous and reliable ground path. Fourthly, the presence of a copper equipment grounding conductor is essential for safety. It provides a low impedance path for fault current to flow back to the source, tripping the breaker and minimizing the risk of electrical shock. When installing a hot tub, it is imperative to follow all applicable codes and regulations. This includes not only Section 680.42c but also any other relevant sections of the National Electrical Code, as well as local building codes and ordinances. It is always recommended to consult with a qualified electrician to ensure that the installation is safe, compliant, and meets all applicable requirements. Some additional considerations for hot tub installations include the following. Ground fault circuit interrupter, or GFCI, protection is typically required for hot tub circuits. A ground fault circuit interrupter is a device that monitors the current flowing in a circuit and quickly interrupts the power if it detects a difference between the outgoing and return current, which could indicate a ground fault. This provides an additional layer of protection against electric shock. Proper bonding is also essential for hot tub installations. Bonding refers to the practice of connecting all metallic parts of a hot tub and its surrounding area to a common ground point. This includes the hot tub's metal frame, any metal piping, and any other metal components that could potentially become energized. Bonding helps to equalize the electrical potential between these parts, reducing the risk of electric shock. The size of the conductors used for the hot tub circuit must be appropriate for the load. The National Electrical Code specifies the minimum conductor size based on the ampacity of the circuit. It is important to use the correct size conductors to prevent overheating and potential fire hazards. The overcurrent protection device, such as a circuit breaker or fuse, must also be properly sized for the circuit. The overcurrent protection device is designed to protect the circuit from overload and short-circuit conditions. It should be sized to match the ampacity of the conductors and the requirements of the equipment being served. The location of the hot tub must comply with all applicable setback requirements. Setback requirements specify the minimum distance that the hot tub must be located from property lines, buildings, and other structures. These requirements are intended to ensure that the hot tub does not create a nuisance or hazard for neighboring properties. The hot tub must be installed on a level and stable surface. This is important to prevent the hot tub from tipping over or becoming damaged. The surface should also be able to support the weight of the hot tub when it is filled with water and people. Access to the hot tub's equipment compartment must be maintained. The equipment compartment contains the hot tub's pump, heater, and other components. It is important to ensure that there is adequate access to this compartment for maintenance and repairs. The hot tub must be properly grounded. Grounding refers to the practice of connecting the hot tub's metal parts to the earth. This provides a path for fault current to flow back to the source, tripping the breaker and minimizing the risk of electric shock. It is crucial to adhere to all manufacturers' instructions when installing a hot tub. The manufacturer's instructions provide specific guidance on how to install the hot tub safely and correctly. These instructions should be followed carefully to ensure that the hot tub operates properly and does not pose a safety hazard. In addition to the above considerations, it is also important to be aware of any local codes or regulations that may apply to hot tub installations. Local codes may have more stringent requirements than the National Electrical Code. It is essential to check with the local building department to ensure that the installation complies with all applicable requirements. When working with electricity, it is always important to take safety precautions. This includes wearing appropriate personal protective equipment, such as safety glasses and gloves. It also includes energizing the circuit before working on it. If you are not comfortable working with electricity, it is best to hire a qualified electrician to do the work. In summary, while Section 680.42c of the National Electrical Code does allow for the use of Type NM cable with a copper equipment grounding conductor for hot tub installations on decks under certain conditions, it is essential to follow all applicable codes and regulations, consult with a qualified electrician, and take appropriate safety precautions. This will help to ensure that the hot tub installation is safe, compliant, and meets all applicable requirements. The specific requirements for hot tub installations can vary depending on the location and the specific circumstances of the installation. It is always best to consult with a qualified electrician to determine the best approach for your particular situation. They can assess the site, review the applicable codes, and provide guidance on the proper wiring methods, grounding, bonding, and other safety requirements. Ultimately, the goal is to ensure that the hot tub is installed safely and correctly, minimizing the risk of electrical shock and other hazards. Always prioritize safety and compliance when working with electricity, and don't hesitate to seek professional assistance if you are unsure about any aspect of the installation. Remember that electricity can be dangerous, and it is important to take all necessary precautions to protect yourself and others from harm. By following these guidelines and working with qualified professionals, you can enjoy your hot tub safely and responsibly. In addition to the technical aspects of the installation, it is also important to consider the overall aesthetics and functionality of the hot tub area. This includes factors such as the placement of the hot tub, the landscaping, and any surrounding structures. The hot tub should be located in a spot that is both visually appealing and convenient to use. It should also be situated in a way that minimizes noise and disruption to neighbors. The landscaping around the hot tub can enhance its overall appeal and create a more relaxing and inviting atmosphere. Consider planting trees, shrubs, and flowers that complement the hot tub's design and provide privacy. You may also want to add features such as a deck, patio, or walkway to create a more comfortable and functional space. When planning the hot tub area, it is important to consider the needs of all users. This includes factors such as accessibility, seating, and lighting. The hot tub should be easily accessible for people of all ages and abilities. There should be adequate seating around the hot tub for people to relax and socialize. Lighting can enhance the ambience of the hot tub area and make it safer to use at night. Finally, remember to maintain your hot tub properly. Regular maintenance is essential to keep the hot tub clean, safe, and in good working order. This includes tasks such as cleaning the filter, balancing the water chemistry, and inspecting the equipment for any signs of damage. By following these tips, you can create a hot tub area that is both beautiful and functional, providing years of enjoyment for you and your family. The National Electrical Code is updated regularly, typically every 3 years. It is important to stay up to date on the latest changes to the code to ensure that your electrical installations are safe and compliant. You can purchase a copy of the National Electrical Code from the National Fire Protection Association, or you can access it online through various subscription services. There are also many resources available online and in print that can help you understand the National Electrical Code and its requirements. These resources include websites, articles, books, and training courses. If you have any questions about the National Electrical Code, it is always best to consult with a qualified electrician. They can provide expert guidance and help you ensure that your electrical installations are safe and compliant. The information provided in this narration is for general informational purposes only and should not be considered as professional advice. It is essential to consult with qualified professionals for specific guidance on your particular situation. Electrical work can be dangerous, and it is important to take all necessary precautions to protect yourself and others from harm. Always energize the circuit before working on it, and wear appropriate personal protective equipment. If you are not comfortable working with electricity, it is best to hire a qualified electrician to do the work. Remember that safety should always be your top priority when working with electricity. Take your time, follow the instructions carefully, and don't hesitate to ask for help if you need it. By following these guidelines, you can ensure that your electrical installations are safe, compliant, and provide years of reliable service. The use of Type NM cable for hot tub installations is a specific exception to the general rule that NM cable is not allowed for outdoor use. This exception is based on the understanding that hot tubs are typically installed in a controlled environment and that the risk of exposure to moisture and physical damage is relatively low. However, it is important to note that this exception only applies when the NM cable is installed in accordance with the specific requirements of Section 680.42c of the National Electrical Code. This includes the requirement that the cable must contain a copper equipment grounding conductor and that it must be routed back to the service panel in the house. If these requirements are not met, the use of NM cable is not permitted. In addition to the specific requirements of Section 680.42c, there may be other applicable codes and regulations that must be followed. For example, local building codes may have additional requirements for hot tub installations. It is essential to check with the local building department to ensure that the installation complies with all applicable requirements. The installation of a hot tub is a complex project that requires careful planning and execution. It is important to take the time to do the job right to ensure that the hot tub is safe, compliant, and provides years of enjoyment. Don't hesitate to seek professional assistance if you need it. A qualified electrician can provide expert guidance and help you ensure that your hot tub installation is done safely and correctly.